Eastern North Carolina is pretty flat, but right now we are standing on a 90-foot bluff overlooking the Neuse River, which is a pretty sweet view. And on Trailblazing, we're exploring Cliffs of the Neuse State Park in Seven Springs. It's Trailblazing time today. We are with Park Ranger Walt, and we are at Cliffs of the Neuse in Seven Springs. And I'm so excited because we have 8 trails that we can explore. But first, we're gonna go check out the overlook that we have here because we are on a 90-foot bluff, which is kind of insane because Eastern North Carolina is pretty flat.
Yes, indeed. This is an erosional remnant left over from the Ice Age period. And because of that, we actually have some unusual plants that grow here that you really should be finding in the mountains. Yes, it's a very unusual formation. It's very famous. In fact, up until the 1920s, there were steamships traveling up the Neuse River and would actually come take moonlight tours and see the cliffs at night. You can see various layers that have been laid down over the time period, and looking from the top to the bottom, you're going back in time about 70 million years.
Wow.
And welcome to our swim lake.
Oh, this is so nice.
About 11 acres. Sits about 40 feet higher than the river. Man-made, and they dug it out, made it in the 50s. And it's one of only 2 state parks in North Carolina left that has a diving board. Now, we don't encourage fishing here. This is not because we're trying to be mean or trying to keep people from having fun, but there are no fish in our swim lake.
Oh.
Because of the iron deposit that the springs come up from, it affects the water chemistry to where fish eggs cannot survive. So even if we stock with fish, they won't reproduce. So we've never bothered putting fish out here. This one right here with the heart-shaped leaf, that's Mountain Galax. This is what we think is an Ice Age remnant. We think during the Ice Age, the climate was a lot cooler here, so we have a plant that you would normally find in the mountains growing here. And what you're looking at here, this tree right here is a bald cypress tree. It looks like it's standing up on its roots, kind of. And you see all these knobby wood protrusions from the ground. That's actually part of its root system. This is a cypress knee. And when the water comes up, these cypress knees provide a way for the root system to breathe. So the tree will survive when the water's high. That's beautyberry.
Well, it is very beautiful. Beautiful? Beautiful? I don't know. Okay, what would you say is the main draw to Cliffs of the Neuse?
I would just say where we're at, the next closest large state park is about an hour away one way. So we're serving a lot of communities here that this is the state park that's closest to them. We just provide a nice, easily accessible, quickly drive in, enjoy nature, and then leave and do what you need to. But yeah, we just provide an opportunity for the locals around here that don't have other good opportunities.
With 8 miles of trail, the lake, the river, we've explored all the highlights and activities that we can do at Cliffs of the Neuse State Park. But make sure to come back for Trailblazing every Tuesday as we discover a new trail to go exploring.